Hey, hi everyone. So I have basically decided to um, bifurcate this particular lecture of chapter one, that is ancient criticism, into two parts. The first part will include, um, the rantings, the philosophies provided by the great philosopher Plato, and the second part will constitute of Aristotle. And if the time remains, we will go to Longinus. Here we begin with Plato. That is Europe in fourth century BC. So there, this guy comes up, known as Plato, famous philosopher, and he was the student of Socrates. You should have heard about Socrates, and he uh, founded this place known as the Academy, where people debates, people questions. So it was founded on the basis of mathematics. And this guy was very much concerned about the politics of that particular day, the political science, I would rather say. And he was very much sensitive to the moral degeneration of the people who are reading the famous epics, the epics written by Homer, the Iliad and the Odyssey. So basically these two epics, they are written in the poem form. Epics are always written in the poem forms, they are not stories, first thing first. And he saw this thing that virtues were mixed up with vices, means the gods were committing such things which were sinful act. For example, uh, and also the human, of course, human abducted, the Paris abducted Helen of Troy. It led to the, and then there was Brace by Agamemnon, and there were many gods who were doing such things which are uh, regarded as a sinful or wrong action by the common people, and people are getting influenced by that. Thus he was very, he was very pissed off. Basically he was very angry with the effect of those epics, because those are morally degenerating upon the common mass. And he came up with this famous book known as the Republic. And what were his philosophies, what did he say about the ancient criticism? And basically criticism and theory, there is a huge confusion between criticism and theory. I'm going to tell you what's the difference. So for the sake of visualization, I'm going to share few slides which I had prepared. Let's see. Here it is. Plato. Okay, from the beginning. So this is ancient criticism. Uh, Here I am. Okay, so the first word theory in literary criticism and literary theory. Theory originated from the Greek word. Every good things in English literature or European literature, it comes from Greece, because the epics are written in the, they are written in Greece. Homer, the Greek poet, the blind Homer. So theory originated from this particular word known as theoria, which means to contemplate, to speculate. If you don't understand these two words, contemplate and speculate, give up reading, studying English literature or language. Go back to school. Okay. The next thing is criticism, which comes again from the Greek word is kritain, in order to judge. Now, there might be some kind of confusion, dude. What is the difference between theory and criticism? Basically, they are the same thing. So, this particular book, the John Hopkins Guide to Literary Theory and Criticism, they says that both are the same thing. Don't get confused. It's a better way to judge literature. That's it. It's a better way to speculate literature. It's a better way to get another point of view to analyze that particular piece of poem or the particular piece of novel. Are you getting it? You're moving to the next one. So this is the guy Plato with beard and something like that, and he came up to, he's founded of the academy, and he wrote this beautiful book known as the Republic. And what did he say in his Republic? And there are many chapters and many things. There are the many parts. We're going to focus on those things which are concerned with our literature. Now, first thing first, he came up with this beautiful theory known as cave theory. What is this cave theory? So you can see a beautiful cave, not a beautiful cave, of course, a natural cave over there. And in this cave, he said that Whatever is there outside the cave, that is known as, that is the ideal thing. And what is inside the cave, that is physical reality. Okay, I'll give you an example. Consider this room as the cave, and whatever is outside, that is the ideal. So if I want to go outside and if I want to sit somewhere, I would go to a I'll go near a tree and sit under the shade of the tree. So that is the actual thing. That is the basic. That is the natural thing. And the same thing, I am sitting upon my bed inside my room. So basically, my physical reality is trying to imitate the shade of the tree. That is the the mother nature. So basically, one is form and one other is ideal. So that is the difference between a form and ideal. So basically, according to Plato, all the human beings are trapped inside a cave, and uh, the sun, the daylight, it is outside. It is the ideal concept of everything. Whatever is inside the cave, it is the form. So whatever is outside the cave, whatever things are there outside this particular room, yeah, whatever thing are outside is ideal, the ideal thing, the standard. And whatever is inside this particular room or inside the cave is known as the form. And art tries to imitate this particular, art means poetry over here. Art tries to imitate the form. So basically the form is inspired by ideal, that is if outside the cave. The inside setting of the cave is basically inspired by the actual natural setting outside the cave, and art tries to imitate what is there inside the cave. So basically, art is twice removed from reality. Reality is outside. Reality inspires the form, what is inside the cave, what is inside the room, and art tries to imitate that. This is the ideology of Plato. Plato says this art is twice removed from reality. And reading of art might lead to moral degeneration because it appeals to emotions. It appeals to, not the intelligence but the sensual pleasure of human being. It might lead people to being morally degenerated, and the society might collapse. So he just wanted to say that art is basically deceptive, and it leads to all kind of sensual, exotic pleasure, and it destabilize a particular society. It destabilize the a particular society from the sociological point of view. It destabilize from the political point of view, and it leads to immorality, whatever, because immoral actions are seen, if you in the read the mythology of the western countries, Zeus being extremely immoral. Okay. And thus, he wanted to say that art should be banned, poets should be banned. Basically, who are creating art? Poets. So try and understand. There were no short stories. There were fables. There were no novels during this time. Novel came up much later during the Victorian era. So basically, it was art. Basically, it was poetry. So thus, poets should be removed. Poets should be banned from the republic. That was the theory of Plato. In his 10th book, he says that poets should be banned because it leads to degeneration of justice order in the society. So that's it. That's the theory of Plato. So the place of poets, criticism about poetry, philosophy, and poetry. So the place of poets is stay outside the republic. Yeah, I'm not Plato is not asking you to commit suicide, or I'm going to take a sword and chop your head from your shoulder. That's not the viewpoint of Plato. It's like, just dude, stay outside this particular realm of the republic. And according to him, philosophy is much higher than poetry, and criticism about poetry, it is morally degenerative. It doesn't lead to, actual benefit of the society. It always leads to the sensuous pleasure. People are thinking below the belt. So basically, people are being basically dicks. That's it. They are not thinking from the brain, they are thinking from below the belt.
and all the sensual pleasure and all those stuff. So that was Plato's view in a nutshell. You can read Peter Barry. You can always go up to some cheap materials on internet, but I would suggest go to Peter Barry's. You can always read those things. So that's, I guess, Plato's view. That's the first part of the ancient criticism. I don't want to exaggerate. I don't want to give many points. These are the basic points. You might look up to materials in the library, and I'll come up with Aristotle views on poetry. And who was Aristotle? Aristotle was basically the disciple of Plato, and he gives some kind of, he tries to counter the views of Plato, the place of poets, the philosophy versus poetry versus history, and also the criticism of poetry. I'll just take a minute over here, and I'll come back with new lecture within few hours. Till then, goodbye. Thank you. Bye bye.